How's that? Welcome. I'm Julie Austin.
Well, what a great evening and a great group of Texas progressives. We have a year in which much work lies ahead, but much promise as well. And tonight's panel, I know, will give us new insight. It is really at gatherings like this that we renew our strength. And of course, we renew our strength and our insight into the many problems and challenges that this state faces every time we pick up a copy of the Texas Observer, coming in with that message of insight of the problems here in Austin and around the country. And thanks so much to the Observer for hosting this event, as well as to Alan and Deanne for having us here in their backyard. But all of you participated in contributing tonight, but there's never an opportunity that ought to be missed to say let's lend all the financial support as well as moral support we can to the Observer, because it's a very important voice, and its investigative reporting is so important to the victories that we will ultimately achieve in this state. And speaking of courage, isn't it great to see Molly here tonight? Just in case they missed that column, since we're talking about immigration now and then. We're also pleased, in addition to Molly, to have on our panel tonight Craig McDonald. Craig, some folks get the good housekeeping seal of approval. He just got the IRS seal of approval, I think, officially cleared from all these liability attacks. And Robert Bryce has timely writings like Cronies, and there's some company down in Houston, the Crooked something or another, Enron is another topic of his good work, and we're really pleased, Robert, to have you participate in this event. And then especially from Helena, Montana, it is now. I'm going to Helena, Texas tomorrow, which bills itself as the toughest town in Texas, or so it was at its founding back in the 1890s. It's down in Karnes County, one of the 9 counties I can thank Tom for these days that I have the opportunity to represent. You're actually in the north end, almost the northern tip of my territory, but Karnes is about halfway, a little more than halfway down to Corpus. It has a big Bluebonnet Festival, even though there aren't many bluebonnets this year. But fortunately, there are more and more progressives. And our principal guest tonight, the author of the book that I hope all of you are buying, A Hostile Takeover, is someone who I came to know on the House Appropriations staff working with Dave Ogen. And he did great work in translating some of those numbers into terms and a message, bringing home to all of us within the Democratic caucus and to the public at large what was really at stake for working families in the budget and the appropriations process. David began there in Washington with someone who I hope is soon going to be serving in the United States Senate, Bernie Sanders. And working in a number of good nonprofits after leaving the Hill, interest groups, writing regularly for The Nation, for a number of publications, American Prospect, and then he went out to Montana, an area not known for its strong Democratic Party around the country, an area that is not known for voting Democratic in presidential elections, and got behind the senatorial bid of the now governor of Montana, and liked Montana so much that he's been able to move from Philadelphia to Montana, a big change, and so he brings a perspective of having seen the country from both coasts and in between, out in the hinterlands now, and I think he has a really powerful message in this book. I will hear more about it from the author himself. I'm going to stay and listen to a little of this and then make a couple of events before heading to Karnes County tomorrow. So thank you, Molly. You're going to take over as our doing this program, or I guess may I turn it over to you, David, to make a few comments? Thanks a lot.
I think Lloyd's got a little more looser, a little more Latin since his district is region. He's such a straight white guy. Let's see. We're going to panel on several things. The trouble with this panel is that there will be so little disagreement. And I would just say, from my point of view, and maybe Craig feels this way too, I am sitting between two of the finest young populist journalists this country has today. And because I am a woman beyond a certain age. And so for me, this is watching the continuation of a great tradition. The populist movement started in the Limestone Hills, just a few miles to the west of us. And Texas has, as you know, a well-deserved reputation as the national laboratory for better government. It also has a well-deserved reputation for its tradition as a national laboratory for great fighting contrarians and people who try to keep it from being as awful and as stupid as it actually is. Oh yeah, I don't know whether you all caught it, but last session the Ledge, which is once again with us on number 5, special session number 5, attempting to address the same topic. Called together by our Governor Goodhair Perry. That is the head of hair every Texan can be proud of, regardless of party. We hear no ill spoken of that hair. I should explain to David, who is not familiar with our ways, how we make progress here in Texas. A few years ago, Goodhair needed a new member of the Public Utilities Commission, which regulates the public utilities in the state. And for that purpose, he selected a former Enron executive. Well, everybody thought that was a dandy idea, and we don't have a sunshine law in Texas. We have sort of a partly cloudy law. But even under our law, when you get a major appointment like that, you have to fill out a form with your financial background and history and all that kind of thing. And so a couple of days later, the governor's office put out a bunch of Xerox forms on this new appointee. And we, alert guardian watchdogs of the Capitol Press Corps, kind of took a look at it, and somebody said, George, you think 17 looks funny? And George said, I don't know, Sam, you think 17 looks funny? Everybody thought 17 was funny. 17 is the question about whether or not you have had any prior involvement or any unpleasant involvement with law enforcement authorities. And it turned out that the governor's office had whited out the answers to question 17. Now, this was a particularly clever cover-up, but we of the press corps were onto it right away. And following through, found out that the perp had some minor traffic problems on his record, and while out hunting a year earlier had accidentally shot a whooping crane, for which reason he had to pay a $10,000 fine. $10,000. I would remind you that that is larger than any sum leveled on any Texas corporation for pollution in recent years. $10,000 for killing a bird under the Endangered Species Act. Now, we got a whole state full of hunters, and they all reading this in the paper saying, well, goddamn, anybody could hit a whooper. And they didn't give a shit. But we stayed on the story and discovered that he shot the whooper while on a duck hunt. Now, the whooper there is a large bird. The duck, not so much. Now we got a whole state full of hunters saying, God damn, this some bitch can't tell a duck from a whooper. He shouldn't be running public utilities, and he had to resign. All right. So the great populist movement does indeed come from the stony limestone soil of central Texas, and here we have some people carrying it on with notable skill and passion, which is what it always called for. I will just tell one story about, I know Robert Price knows, a journalist you should know about, who published named Brann, B-R-A-N-N. William Brann published a populist newspaper in Waco, Texas in the 1890s. It had a circulation of 1 million. They had to send a special train into Waco every week to pick it up and distribute it all over the South and the West. William Brann hated 3 things with a great passion. He hated cant, he hated hypocrisy, and he hated Baptists. Brann was the man who observed that the trouble with our Texas Baptists is that we do not hold them underwater long enough. He used his newspaper to crusade mightily. He was a man who could gush forth great little montades of rhetoric. Just a fabulous man to read. And he was a little bigoted, but he was a man of his times. And he attacked the President of Baylor University for which reason. One day he was shot in the back by an irate Baptist on a wooden sidewalk in Waco. He fell dying, but as he died, he rolled over and shot his own murderer to death. That's, by God, a populist journalist. Wait, he's one that